This is a Motivated Mind with Jen Cole, and I am Jen, and I'm so glad you're here. If you want reliable, relatable information, honest answers to real life questions, then go ahead and hit subscribe now and the bell, ding ding, so you don't miss a thing. Cheers to a good morning, a great day. If you are like me, then from the moment that you open your eyes, it is go time. All of the things that us regular people have to take care of. We get the kids up, we get them dressed, we check their book bags. If you live in this side of the country, you never know what the weather is going to be like, so you have to put a jacket and or sweater in their book bag also, and maybe a pair of shorts because you don't know what the weather is going to be like. We got to take care of our animals, we do dishes. We budget, we meal plan, we meal prep, we do dishes again. There's laundry, there's the daily, weekly, monthly activities around the house just to keep our house running smoothly. The day-to-day things that we have to take care of. Doctor's appointments, making those doctor's appointments, and then taking the kids to them, the after-school activities. That is a lot that we do on a daily basis, and I don't think that we give ourselves enough credit for those things. And then on top of that, we want to start a business, or we have a business and we want to grow that business, and we want to be successful, or we want to be a YouTuber, or we want to work from home. Are we crazy? Maybe a little, but that's a good thing, because when you exceed the limitations that you have for yourself or what other people put on, then right there you're ahead of the game. And being somebody that has started a couple businesses and turned an idea into a way to generate revenue, and someone that works from home, I work for myself from home, I run businesses out of my home, and then I also work for the magazines that I create and write the content for. And then I am also overseeing the launch of a magazine coming out from beginning to end. So I have all of that great going on, and while that's all great stuff, that doesn't take away or minimize my normal day-to-day activities, being a wife and a mom. All of that stuff is still there. That to-do list is still there. And then this other stuff that we try to do, it doesn't take away or minimize the regular responsibilities that we have. So I have come up with 5 things that I started doing that actually made not only my business start to grow, but it gave me some peace of mind in my personal life. It gave me some time to breathe, and to where I actually felt like I was running my company, and that my businesses wasn't running me. That I was handling my life and being in the driver's seat and not just going along and going with the motions and just feeling like I was completely out of control. So I have 5 things that I'm going to tell you how to either start or grow your business for regular folks like us. And let's get to it. Number 1, define your success and own it. What is your definition of success in your business or your YouTube channel or starting a business? What is your goal, your own personal definition of success? What are you working toward? Don't compare your life to somebody else's. Let's take YouTube for example. I don't look at how often other content creators are putting up videos, because I don't know what their behind the scenes looks like. Just like they don't know what mine looks like. We watch somebody put up a video and we're like, they're so well spoken, they know exactly what they're talking about, they look a certain way, but you don't know how many times that video had to be reshot, you don't know how many takes there is, you don't know how many times the video was interrupted by their children or phone calls or technical difficulties or what have you. You don't know what their behind the scenes looks like. So when I go to look for these YouTube videos on how to start, create, grow, or understand YouTube, all I was finding, while the people that I watched were very, very informative about how to do these things, or when I looked for business videos about, tips on different things, they were coming to me from where they are right now, and not from the beginner stage. And nobody that I watched spoke about the aspect of being a regular person. Not everybody has startup money. Not everybody has a cushion of financial an account to where you can just draw from to start your business. Not everybody has somebody to keep their kids for them to go and look at office spaces, or not everybody has money to just go and buy all this office furniture. And so I had to come up with what my definition of success was. My goals and how I'm defining that I'm being successful is, am I able to put the content out there? Am I taking time to research it? Am I actually doing it? With all of the stuff that I have going on in my daily life, am I actually able to put the videos out there? From the business standpoint, am I spending time? Am I generating money? Am I able to spend time doing it? Is it becoming something that I thought it would be? What is my own personal definition of success? You have to define that for you. What are your goals? Why are you wanting to do this? It's not going to happen overnight. You can't compare yourself to other people. You're going to have to sit down and, just like if it was the type of business to where you were hiring people, write out your own mission statement. What is your purpose of doing what you're doing? Define your goals, define your success, define what your purpose of doing this is. Are you wanting to start a business so that you can be financially secure? Are you wanting a safety net of money? Are you not wanting your children to have to worry about where they're going to come up with money to go to college? Are you wanting to take that dream vacation? Is this just to make extra money, or are you wanting to eventually go full-time into this to where you're generating enough revenue to where you're able to live off of this? What are your goals with this? You can't look at the reasons, you can't look at what someone else is doing always, because you don't know exactly why they're doing what they're doing and what's going on behind the scenes. Now, I'm not saying don't look at them and take advice from them and take tips from them. See what smart cuts they're using, not shortcuts, but smart cuts. Is there an easier, more productive way to do something than the way that you're doing? By all means, yes. Take notes when you see those people with the videos about businesses. Take what you can take from that and leave the rest. Some of the information that I get from these videos that I watch, I take notes on them and I take what I can, what applies to me. But if something's out of the scale of my realm of reality, if something can't apply to me or doesn't apply to me, I just leave that on the shelf where it is, because that doesn't fit into what I'm doing. I don't have startup money to go buy an office. I turned a room into my house into an office. At first it was me carrying my planner stuff around in boxes from diaper cases. And then when I had so many boxes, then I moved into the half of the corner of a room, and then eventually I turned it into an office. I let my workspace grow as my business grew. I didn't go out and buy all of this office furniture before I even had clients, or when I just had one or two clients that was making me just enough money to kind of pay for the supplies and things that I needed. I'm using my planner business as an example because it did take a little bit of money to go buy the supplies, to actually do the marketing, the advertising, and it is a commission based. I only get paid for the product that I produce. So you need to look at what type of business that you're wanting to start. Are you wanting to work for yourself at home, or are you wanting to work at home for another type of business, or are you wanting to completely start your own business to where you provide the service or the product? Are you wanting to do this? Look at what your whole entire world looks like. Write it down on paper. This is what I'm doing. This is why I want to do it. The who, what, when, where, and why. Who's in charge? Are you bringing anybody on with you? Is it just you? What is your purpose of doing this? What do you need to start it? What can you start with what you already have? When will things start to fall into place? And when do you need to set certain things as priorities? Where do you need to do this? Can you do it from your home? Do you need an actual location? And why? We're going to get to the why in just a minute. Besides of why you're doing this, write down why you actually started. And we're going to put a little pin in that, and we're going to move on to number 2. Number 2, if you are going to treat this as a job and you are going to work for yourself, be your best employee. Be the employee of the month, even if you're the only employee. Work as if you would want the way somebody to work if you hired them. If you want this business to grow and be successful, then you have to treat it as a business. If you're just doing this as a hobby, just to make some side money, then you can just use your free time. But if you really want this to grow and be successful, and whatever this niche is that you're wanting to get into, whatever the niche is that you are wanting, whatever field that you're wanting to dominate, then dominate that by being the most productive and the most motivated person in that field. If it's in real estate, be the most productive realtor. If it's an insurance salesman, like my friend Alex, she just started her own insurance agency, then she's going to be the best and the most motivated insurance salesman that there is. She's going to provide things for her clients that in a way that reaches out and is unique in that particular field. Be your best employee. Make your boss proud, because you are your own boss. Are you starting work at the same time? When I turned this little area into this room, which I'm going to be making another video talking about workspace and what it looks like and things like that. But when I turned this into my workspace, I wanted it to look like an office if I went to an office building to work. And you can see up here, it says to do, and I marked out 2, and it says will. Okay, so I had to stop the video for a minute and come back because my kids needed me. So again, don't compare yourself to other people, because you really don't know what those behind the scenes looks like. So as I was saying, I have my will do. I changed it from to do to will do, because that's a more positive way of looking at what I need to accomplish for the day, that I am able to do it. And on the dry erase board that I'm making the, as I'm listing these things that will help you with either starting or growing a business, I usually have yes you can written on it, because that's the first thing that I think about when I'm overwhelmed, stressed out, or frustrated. I'm like, I can't do this. I have too many assignments, or something's going on with something to do with my planners, or something technically is going on with the videos. It's not editing the way I wanted to, or I just can't get my point across, so I have to keep stopping and re-recording over and over. I just have to keep recording because of something going on in the house or what have you. That's the first thing I think is, I can't do this. So I write on this board, yes, you can. So whatever your little workspace is or whatever, make it speak to you. Let it motivate you. Let it inspire you. That's why I have my certificate of achievement, what I completed with the classes and the groups and things at the treatment center. I have my YouTube channel name, A Motivated Mind with Jen Cole, Heal from the Inside, Life on Purpose. I have my blog address up here and my encouragement, inspiration. This is my little motivation thing, the watercolor thing, because that's what my life has been like, blurred and all over, and the way you look at it differently, you see different things. The stencil for my planners, my little calendar of what needs to get done, the different magazines I create and write content for, and which ones I have to put photos with, and the magazine that I'm launching, and the YouTube, and the planners, and all of this stuff. And at the very top, let me move that over so you can see it. At the very top is my business card. Because for me, that's like an unbelievable, it's a motivation. And even though I fell down, and when I fell down so hard, and when I created my other business, which is in a totally different other type of thing, it provides a service but not really a product, I guess. I fell down, and I fell down so hard that I never thought I would get back to this place in my life, ever. I thought that I had messed up so bad and so hard that all of my dreams and all my goals was over. So what I do is I use that motivation in this aspect of business. If I can conquer the things that I have conquered, and I can overcome the things that I've overcome, then a problem with a printer, or a problem with a video, or not measuring the paper, I can't get the words on the paper to measure so it fits in the binder. Like, those are problems that on the scale of my life, I can fix. That's why I have these things up here, as a reminder of how far I've come, and that's what you need too. You need reminders of how far you've come. Number 3, time block over time management. This will help you do number 2. In order to be the best employee that you have, in order to be employee of the month, even if you're the only employee, showing up at work the same time every day, being productive while you're supposed to be working, when you are sitting at your desk or your work area or whatever that looks like for you, are you actually being productive in the time that you're supposed to be working, or are you on social media for other reasons other than marketing or, you know, promoting your business, your company, your product, your services? When you are doing something other than what you're supposed to be doing, that means that you are doing, that's what you would rather be doing, is whatever you're doing instead of what you're doing. And the reason we do that is because we don't feel like we have time to really do the thing that we want to do. Example, when my husband and I kept saying, we're going to go out on date night, we're going to go on date night, but we never did, then we would get so easily frustrated and overwhelmed when we couldn't even watch a movie at home because the kids wouldn't go to bed, or they kept fighting or making messes. Now that we've made date night a top priority, to where you can, it's on my calendar, it's a top priority, the nights that we went out on date nights, the night that we're planning dates. So now the nights that we don't get to finish the movie, or the kids are not, you know, listening, or whatever the situation is, it's not as frustrating because we know that there's light coming. And the way that you time block is like this. Each block in your life represents a different area in your life. There's red for marriage, green for work, for money, brown is housework, orange is fun, purple is kids, like quality time with the kids, purple is spiritual, and blue is recovery. And when you go back and you look at the week, if there's all green and no red, or if it's all green and brown and no red, then it's out of balance. And that's how you can tell if your life is really in or out of balance. Does your life look like a rainbow? Now, there are going to be times to where you have to work a little bit more, especially when you're just getting started, before you have the money to hire other people to do things, or before you have money to bring people on as a team. There's going to be times to where you are able to go out and do more things with your partner, or you do more things with the kids, or you know, you need to do more work around the house than others. But overall, it should pretty much look like a rainbow. If you're working all the time, then you're not enjoying the things that you're working for. If you're not working enough, how are you supposed to succeed? And this especially comes into play if you're already working a full-time job and you're starting a business of your own, or you're working from home to where it's all on you and it's commission-based. You will not get paid if you do not work. So this will help you with number 2, being the best employee. Number 3 is, you know, time blocking over time management. Let me know in the comments below if you're getting anything out of this and what stage you're in. Because when we have a dream, when we have a plan, when we have a goal and a plan are two different things. We come up with an idea first. I like to be organized. I filled out my notebook to look like the way that these planners do. So I came up with this idea, and then it was a goal, and it became a plan to see the goal be real when I started taking action. So let me know what stage you're in. Are you in the idea? Are you in the planning? Is it a goal? Are you actually doing it and moving along with it? I really want to know. Step 4. When I tell you what step 4 is, you're going to think that I'm a little crazy, okay? But I promise that this will help. Don't bring your work home with you. Excuse me, ma'am, don't you work from home? Yes, I do. But just like you're clocking in at a certain time, what time are you starting working? What time are you sitting down at that desk? I try to be sitting down at my desk at 7 a.m. every morning. That means that all of my personal stuff that I do, reading my recovery literature, writing my gratitude list out, whatever that my personal stuff is, needs to be done before 7 o'clock so that I can clock in and start working. I also keep track of what time I actually start working, and that's how I figured out what times of the day that I'm more productive. But you've also got to give yourself a time to where you clock out. I don't always do so good with this one because a lot of my careers that I'm doing, a lot of my ways that I generate revenue are creative aspects. So that part of my brain never really shuts off, but I'm learning how to find an outlet, not to just talk about it all the time, because I can get on my own nerves with it. And I can tell by my husband's facial expression when I'm going on and on about it, because he'll just be like, so I'm like, okay, let's leave work back at the office. I'll say, okay, I'm closing my briefcase again, and we're going to talk about something else, because it's hard for somebody that's not inside your circle to really understand what you're even talking about sometimes. That's why you need to reach out to other people that are in that field, that are doing the same thing that you're doing, so that they can talk the lingo that you're talking. I have people message me, and we talk when people call me, or I call them, and we talk about what it's like, the ups and downs and ins and outs of starting your business and working for yourself and doing YouTube videos. And you know, when you're talking to somebody, they can talk the talk, and you guys can walk the walk together, and you have somebody that's an ally with you. We shouldn't be in competition with each other. We should be helping each other grow. If you know of a website or an app, or you know, something that helps you print out invoices easier, or somewhere that helps you with your bookkeeping, or things like that, then share that information. We should be helping each other build this up. We should be helping each other to help each other. That's why I started doing this. I had no idea that I was going to be doing a video about the 5 tools that you need every day to grow or start a successful business. No idea. I started doing videos in recovery groups because that's what I felt like I knew about. Because I felt like I knew about being depressed and in active addiction and my life being a mess even after I was in recovery. So I started talking about that. I started writing about when you're just so negative all the time. And that kind of had a domino effect for me. Someone that I knew was in the writing field, and I sent her some of my work and just kind of say, hey, this is what I'm writing about right now. And she said, you are so talented. Here is a person that I want you to contact. I want you to send your work to them. And I said, okay. And I kind of hesitated for a little bit. The whole not believing in yourself can come up every day, and it's going to be a hurdle that's going to continue to pop up even when you don't even realize it. And so one day I just said, okay, and I did it. And from that, I have gotten these amazing opportunities to have a creative outlet and also make money from it. Because, you know, all of us, we really generally want the same things out of life. Whatever your political beliefs are, whatever your moral beliefs are, whatever you think about what is going on in the news, we all want a life to where we're happy and healthy and successful. We each have different definitions and variations of what we see that success looking like, but we all want to be happy. And who doesn't want a career, a job, to where they're happy to be doing what they're doing? I'm going to get rid of some myths for you after I give you number 5. Things that I thought going into this that I found out that were absolutely, completely not true. Okay? So, I'm glad you're still with me. And, keep letting me know in the comments below what you're getting out of this. If you struggle with, defining your own success, or time management, time blocking, if you're already doing this, let me know. And number 5, when you come to a point in this, you've started your business, you've got it off the ground, you're working for yourself at home, you're working for someone else at home, and you start running into these days to where I have to look at this board and remind myself that I can do it. But on the days to where you're extremely overwhelmed, and on the days that you want to give up, I want you to handle the situation as if you were in a professional job setting and give yourself a 2-week notice. Just follow me on this for a minute. When we make rash decisions and we jump into situations, then we're going to want to jump out of situations just as quickly. And when we give up quickly, then we're really quick to look back and regret that we gave up on that decision. So I know that my employment history isn't always where I do things the correct way. When I was younger, I had several different types of jobs in different types of field. I've been a nursing assistant. I worked with someone that owned a cleaning company. I was a manager at a restaurant. I was the store manager. I've been a bartender. I worked in a deli. I've worked in a child care center. I've worked in a retirement center. I have worked all over the place. I've worked call center jobs and for a radio station. I have worked everywhere. So I didn't always handle it the right way when I left those jobs. I didn't always turn a 2-week notice in. But you are your boss now, and you deserve more than just giving up on the job and giving up on yourself and giving up on your dream. So if you are thinking about completely just shutting it down and giving and just stopping, okay, maybe you realize that it's not for you. You're not generating enough revenue. You're not and when you run into these hurdles, when you run into these issues, have you tried ways to take care of those hurdles? Have you figured out ways to make smart cuts to kind of take care of that? When I was first doing this planner business, I was so overwhelmed, so stressed out, so frustrated. I wasn't charging what I was worth. I wasn't charging what the product was worth, because the product does deliver everything that I say it's going to. That's something that you need to look at too. Are you doing what you say you're going to do? Do not make empty promises that you cannot fill. Don't make champagne promises on a beer budget. And so I was overworked and stressed out. I hadn't made any money yet. I just kept having to buy more stuff, and I was so ready to quit. And my dad came over to see me, and when I was younger, I heard an expression that as you get older, your parents seem somehow to become more intelligent. And I must be getting up there in years, because to me, my father is very intelligent. And he said, you're working yourself harder than you need to, and he gave me some really, really good advice. And I had to be open to taking that advice. And once I sat down and looked at what I was doing and what I was actually working for, and why I was doing everything by myself and all this, I was ready to quit then. And when I sat down and I took inventory of myself, and I made the proper changes, and I made changes where I needed to make changes, now I'm running my business again, and it's not running me. So if you are thinking about quitting and you're done, you just can't do this anymore, I want you to give yourself enough respect and enough consideration to sit down and write out a 2-week notice. Why are you wanting to leave? Why is this not working for you? And I want you to remember back to why you started. Because if you think that by working at home it's going to be like those infomercials to where you're sitting on the beach with a laptop with a fruity drink after 30 days, that's a myth and that's not real. I got this. I hate when I hear that expression. People say it in the recovery world all the time. I got this, you got this. Just because you know a lot about a particular area, just because you know how to speak in public, just because you know that particular field in and out, doesn't mean that you're always just going to be on top of everything. That is a myth and that is a lie, that these days are just going to be easy breezy, that you're just going to always feel confident, that you're always just going to feel like you've got this. That's just not reality. No matter what it is, it's going to be hard some days. Not all the time. But I promise you it's worth it. I promise you. So, recap very quickly, and then I have something else really important to tell you. Number 1, define your success, own your success. Do not compare yourself to other people you don't know behind the scenes. You don't know how many times I've really had to stop and start and pause this video and mess up something I was talking about and start recording. Just like I don't know what you're really doing right now. You don't know what's going on right before somebody hits record. So don't judge yourself on what somebody puts out, because you don't know what's going on before they put that out. Number 2, be your best employee. Be your best employee. Your boss deserves the best because you are your best. And treat your employees good. Well, treat your employees well. See, now normally I would have stopped and re-recorded just because I misspoke there. But some days I just don't have enough energy to be that concerned about something like that. Treat your employees well. You are your employee. Treat that employee well. Your boss and your employee, when you work for yourself, deserve dignity, respect, compassion, and some understanding. Be productive when you're supposed to be productive. Don't waste your time when you're supposed to be working. Be on time. Yes, I have nights to where the kids are up with earaches or colds or the flu, or they just don't want to sleep, or I was up late working on another project or editing a video or something. So I don't always want to be sitting here at 7 o'clock in the morning, and some mornings I'm not. But I have a realistic expectation of myself, and I know that some days it's just not going to happen. But it's the goal and it's the plan. Time blocking, overtime management. Make time to have fun. Make time to be responsible. Make time to make time. Use the time that we have. And I don't really know if making time is the right way to say that, because we don't really create time. You can't just, you never get to make up for time that we lost, but utilize the time that we have in the correct way. Don't bring your work home with you. The goal is to clock in at the right time every day. Give yourself permission to clock out and enjoy the things that you're working for. If you're working for a better house, enjoy being in that home. If you're working for a better vehicle, then enjoy being in that vehicle or in that home. Or you're working to have money to go on date nights with your partner, then enjoy being with them and having quality time with your kids. Because at the end of the day, those are the things that truly matter. Because like I said in the beginning of this video, we are a parent and a spouse and a man or a woman first, before we're a business owner, before we're a YouTuber, before we work that full-time job. We are that individual and that human. And if you want to give up, remember why you started. Give yourself a 2-week notice. You at least deserve to give yourself that. Recently, a person that follows me on Instagram, and the link to that is in the description below. If you do watch this video and follow me on Instagram, take a Snapchat of it, post it on Instagram, tag me in it, and I will give you a shout out on my next video. She asked me what I did she said, what do you do? And I automatically, knee-jerk reaction, said, when I responded, I said, I am a wife and a mom, and then I mentioned what I do for a living. And she laughed and she said, that happens all the time. When I ask men what they do, they name their profession first, and when I ask women what they do, they say that they are a wife and a mom. They always say their marital status, and if they have kids, and then their profession. And she said it's becoming more and more, men are starting to do this too, because more and more men are staying home parents, and the women are going out and being the majority of the breadwinner, the income provider. And so I just want you to think about that for a minute, that our identities are sometimes tied up in our statuses as when we're married, whether we're married or we have kids or things like that. But don't lose your identity as you as a person, because you deserve dignity and respect just because you opened your eyes today. You are amazing just the way you are. You are not a mistake, and you were not made broken. You are amazing just the way you are, and you already have inside of you all of the ability to be exactly who you want to become. It's just waiting on you. Life did not just show up. It's always been here. We've just decided to show up. Let me know in the comments below what you got out of this. I hope you got something out of it. I really do want to hear from you. If you are starting, growing, succeeding at going into business for yourself, working at home, these are all different aspects of things that I get excited about, because one, I'm doing this now. You can't see that part of my office right now, but I have like 4 different planners that I'm putting together and working on right now. So that part of my floor looks like a carpet of papers and stickers and everything. But I truly get excited when you guys do this amazing stuff, and let's encourage each other. Let's be there for one another. As always, I'm Jen Cole, and I approve this message. And until next time, bye-bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Share this video and subscribe. Share. Let people know, because I believe there's tons of people out there wanting to start a business. And I really believe that these are the 5 things that's going to help them. Upcoming video, I have a few different ideas. We're going to talk about workspace, how to motivate your workspace if you're working from home, what my office actually looks like. I can't give you a sneak peek right now because, like I said, it's kind of a mess over there right now. But I will give you a peek into what goes on in my daily life, how to organize, how to get started writing if that's what you want to do. These are all really exciting things that we're going to be getting into. And then I want you to be a part of it. I want to know what you're doing in your day-to-day stuff too. It's been really fun talking to you guys today. I genuinely care about each and every one of you, and I have a great and blessed day. Until next time, bye-bye.